Before cities, before writing, before history itself was recorded, humanity made one of its most accidental discoveries, a discovery that would shape rituals, religion, medicine, celebration, and controversy for thousands of years. This is the origin of alcohol. Alcohol was not invented in a laboratory, it was discovered by chance. When fruits fall from trees and sit in warm air, natural yeasts begin to feast on their sugars. The result? Fermentation. Ethanol. Alcohol. Early humans noticed something strange. Fruit left too long tasted different, it smelled stronger, and when eaten, it caused warmth, relaxation, even joy. This may have been humanity's first encounter with intoxication. Around 10,000 years ago, humans stopped wandering and started farming. With grains like barley and wheat came storage, and with storage came fermentation on a larger scale. Grains soaked in water fermented naturally, creating primitive beer. Some historians believe humans didn't just farm for bread, they farmed for alcohol. Beer may have helped build civilization itself, bringing people together, encouraging settlement, and even motivating agriculture. In ancient Mesopotamia, beer was sacred. The Sumerians even worshipped a beer goddess, Ninkasi. They wrote the world's first beer recipe in her honor. In Egypt, beer and wine were daily staples. Workers building the pyramids were paid in beer. Doctors prescribed it as medicine. Priests offered it to the gods. Alcohol was not a luxury, it was life. Wine rose to prominence in Greece and Rome. It symbolized culture, philosophy, and power. The Greeks believed wine connected mortals to the divine, worshipping Dionysus, god of wine and ecstasy. Romans refined winemaking and spread it across Europe, planting vineyards wherever their empire reached. Alcohol became a symbol of civilization itself. Then came a turning point: distillation. Arab alchemists searching for medicinal elixirs learned how to concentrate alcohol. The result was spirits, whiskey, rum, vodka, brandy. What was once mild became powerful. Alcohol transformed from food to force. Alcohol fueled trade, exploration, and empire. It preserved water on long sea voyages. It financed nations. It comforted the poor and enriched the powerful. But it also brought addiction, exploitation, and conflict. Alcohol became both a blessing and a curse. So, as we look back from our modern world, it's kind of amazing to think about how far we've come. From clay to convenience, how alcohol found its containers. For thousands of years, alcohol had a problem. It could be made, but it could not travel far. Early beers and wines were stored in clay jars, animal skins, and wooden barrels. These vessels were heavy, fragile, and honestly, pretty imperfect. Alcohol spoiled easily. Flavor changed with every journey. Still, these early containers shaped how alcohol was shared, traded, and consumed. Barrels especially became revolutionary. They were strong, stackable, and easy to roll. Entire economies flowed through them. But alcohol was about to meet its most transformative partner. Glass had existed for centuries, but it was rare and expensive. That changed in the 17th century. Advances in glassmaking, particularly in England, produced stronger, darker bottles. For the first time, alcohol could be sealed tightly, protected from air and light. Wine could age intentionally. Beer could be preserved longer. Flavor became predictable. The glass bottle didn't just hold alcohol, it elevated it. With bottles came corks, and with corks came pressure. Sparkling wine, once considered a mistake, became a marvel. Champagne producers learned to trap carbonation inside thick glass bottles. This was alcohol evolving, controlled, refined, engineered. Drinking was no longer just survival or ritual, it became an experience. The Industrial Revolution changed everything. Machines replaced hand-blown glass, bottles became cheap, uniform, and plentiful. Alcohol was no longer local, it became global. Brands were born, labels mattered, identity mattered. beer, wine, and spirits could now travel continents and reach millions. Alcohol had entered the age of mass consumption. Then came a radical idea. In 1935, the first commercial beer can was introduced, lighter than glass, faster to chill, easier to transport. At first drinkers were skeptical, metal felt wrong, but convenience won. Cans survived wars, fueled soldiers, and reshaped beer culture. Aluminum replaced steel, making cans recyclable and lightweight. Beer was no longer confined to taverns, it went to beaches, stadiums, and backyards. In the late 20th century, plastic arrived. PET bottles were cheap, unbreakable, and easy to produce. They became common for large-format beers, budget alcohol, and mass events. But plastic changed more than just packaging. It changed perception. Alcohol became faster, cheaper, and, well, more disposable. Convenience came at an environmental cost. From clay to glass, from barrels to cans, from tradition to convenience, the containers that hold alcohol tell a parallel story to the drink itself. It's a story of technology, culture, and human priorities. Alcohol evolved, and so did the way we carry it. Every bottle, every can, every container is kind of like a time capsule, holding not just alcohol, but thousands of years of human history. Today, alcohol remains deeply woven into human culture, celebrations, rituals, religion, escape, from rotting fruit on the forest floor to refined drinks in crystal glasses. Alcohol's story is inseparable from our own. It's a reminder that some of humanity's greatest discoveries were not planned. They were fermented. The origin of alcohol is not just the story of a drink, it is the story of us.